Here's a question for you. If today was your last chance to tell the truth, would you still water it down to protect somebody's feelings? Yeah, me neither. I used to think being nice meant biting my tongue, softening the blow, staying quiet. I have definitely reached the point where I don't have the energy to dance around the truth anymore. And quite honestly, I don't have the time, not in life, in business, and especially in relationships. So trust and believe that if I care about you, I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes the most loving thing that you can do is to be honest, even if it hurts. Welcome to Random Candace Thoughts, the podcast where we talk about the only things that you would say to your best friend or your therapist, or maybe into the group chat at 1 a.m. if you've had a couple of drinks. I am Candace, your favorite mom, Nana, and overthinker extraordinaire. And today's episode, we're going to get into honesty and like the real kind, and not just the I'm being honest kind people say before they're being mean. Today, I'm going to tell you why I don't sugarcoat shit and why I actually think that's probably one of the kindest things that I do. Have you ever noticed how when people say they want the truth, they do until they get it? Suddenly, you're too harsh, or you could have said it nicer. Like, honesty only counts if it's wrapped up in a bow with some type of glitter. I get it. I have not always been like that. I will say, when I was in the military for 21 years, I had to play a certain role. I had to be political. And since then, I've kind of found myself again. And life is just too short to let your friend go on with a crappy partner while everybody talks about them behind their back, but you're the only one that will say it to their face. I think I can definitely thank my family for making sure that I was seen. I can definitely thank the military for making me a leader. I mean, I have had to tell people to their face when their performance wasn't up to standards. And guess what? A lot of people don't like it in the moment, but later, most of them came back and thanked me for showing them a different way. But since coming out of the military, I feel like my filters kind of minimized a lot because sugarcoating feels super nice in the moment, but it can leave people super confused, right? It's like giving somebody a map and then watching them get lost because you know it's not real. I'd rather be direct and risk being too much than lie to somebody's face and call it kindness. I think I learned this lesson the hardest when I was in my last assignment in the military, which I've discussed in previous podcasts, which you can check those out. But I was lying to a lot of people. And I think the main thing was my mom died from COVID, not knowing the truth about what was going on with me and my career. And that makes me sad. It makes me sad that I kept it from her because I know that she would have supported me. I know that she would have been there for me. I was just scared. And I think that since then, that's when I realized I just can't lie to people. I can't lie and cheat and steal because that's what got me into the mess that I was in. I was married and I cheated. And I have to live with that. I have to live with the pain that I caused a lot of people at the time. Pain that probably is still harbored at different levels. That was really the defining moment in my life when I returned home from overseas to my kids and just decided that I needed to be a different person. I couldn't be a liar. I couldn't be a cheater. I couldn't be unfaithful to my children. And I couldn't let them know that it was okay to do that. Now I don't lie to my kids. I don't lie to them about how the world works. I don't lie to them when they ask me questions about things that have happened to me or people that we know or opinions that I have. I don't lie to them. I tell them what happened. I will also give them my opinions of things with the caveat that some things are my opinion. Not everything I say is right. But I'm also not going to sugarcoat things and keep things. I've lost family members and friends just because I want to be honest. And recently I lost a good friendship because of business. And I told her the truth. And unfortunately, she didn't like it, even though it was something that everybody had been saying and everyone was talking about. And everyone had tried to sugarcoat and say in a nice way, but she just wasn't getting it. And I said it, and I lost my friendship. And that's okay because maybe she'll grow from that. Maybe I'll grow from it. I don't know. But I would rather tell the truth than talk about somebody behind their back. I would rather tell people I'm not feeling good if I'm not feeling good rather than telling them everything is fine and then something happened. That's not self-care either. That's not taking care of yourself. It's just denial. Now, don't get it twisted. Honesty doesn't mean being a complete jerk. You can be real and respectful. You can call things out with love. But I refuse to pretend that everything's okay just to make people feel comfortable. It's not love, it's performance. And at 43 years old, I don't have time for it. The clock is ticking every single day. I hear it ticking down. I'm going to be 44 next month. I just don't have time to sugarcoat things anymore. If you want the truth, I'll give you the truth. If you don't, then we probably shouldn't talk about it. Speaking of life being too short, it's a great time to introduce Oliver's Light. Oliver's Light is a tribute to my grandson Oliver, who was born sleeping in January. And today I want to acknowledge two organizations that have really helped out my daughter in this trying time. Losing Oliver has taught me that life is too short to hold back how you really feel. And I have this beautiful platform, and I would like to acknowledge these two organizations and their purpose. The first is Sailor's Story. They're a stillbirth support account. And what they do is they create these cute little comfort bags for recent stillbirth or infant loss. They take donations, and each one is specific to the mom and to the child that they lost. They also have request forms in their link in bio, and I will make sure to put that information down in the show notes. Please go check out Sailor's Story on Instagram. And the second is Still Here Ministry. They're a charity organization. They also give out free comfort boxes for moms who have lost their unborn or their newborn babies. And they personalize them. And it was very special for Jenna to get at a time when she felt like nobody was paying attention or everybody had moved on. And I definitely wanted to highlight those two organizations because I can't keep quiet about people that are doing good in the world, even if it's something as small as making sure that a mom of a stillborn child gets a box that they can keep forever and remember their baby. So please check out Still Here Ministry, also on Instagram, and I will link them in the show notes. That's why I said sometimes being straightforward and being honest doesn't always have to be a negative. You can showcase things and call them out of love. And I tell the truth now. I show up fully. And I hope that it'll give somebody else permission to do the same thing because the truth doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it freaking sucks. Sometimes it sucks having to look someone in the eye and tell them something bad, but honest. But it always sets something free, right? It always sets something free. And if this hits you, or if you don't agree, drop me a message, leave a comment, find me on social media. And if you needed permission to just be real, this is it. If you're done with sugarcoating, welcome to the club, babe. We've got honesty, sarcasm, and probably snacks. So we'll see you next week for another episode of Random Candace Thoughts.